Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? He like, man, why didn't I just, go to the spirit world? Because he was dealing with all that he had to deal with. He was the richest of the richest. And then the Lord allowed Satan to mess with him. All right. To see if he was going to keep his integrity and his faith, which he did. OK. But after he was going through all this, he was just like, man, why died I not from the womb? All right. Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? All right. This is a quick precept. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. Talking about this body. The body go into the ground. All right. The body go down into the grave, which is hell. All right. That's hell. A lot of times you see hell in the Bible. It's talking about the grave. OK. So it says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to God who gave it. It didn't say nothing about, oh, if you were bad or if you were good. It simply said, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Okay, so the body, it goes back into the ground, all right, to the grave, unto the earth, all right. Then the spirit shall return unto God. So Job was asking, man, why didn't my spirit just chill up in the spirit world, all right, with the Most High, all right? He said, why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? It says, why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept. Then had I been at rest. With kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as an unhidden, untimely birth, I had not been, as infants which never saw light. It says, verse 17 is the point. There, in that spirit world, with God, right? Because it just said in Ecclesiastes 7, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Verse 17, Job 3 and 17, it says, there the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. So the spirit of the wicked and the spirit of the weary, the spirit of the righteous, when they die, they all go to the spirit world. They go back to God who gave it. All right. Because if if people say, hey, you bad, if you live a wicked life, then you go down to hell and you burn forever and ever and ever. But wait a minute. It says right here, verse 17, there, talking about the spirit world, because this is what this Job is talking about. Why died he not from the womb? Why not he go back to, just be in the spirit world with God? Why? Because he say, then had I been at rest. If I was in the spirit world, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? And that's where this is talking about. Even in verse 17, it says there in the spirit world, it says the wicked cease from troubling. And there in the spirit world, the weary be at rest. All right. So everybody just chilling. After you die, you go to the spirit world at rest. You sleep with your father. That's why when the scriptures talk about, somebody died, it says they went to sleep with their fathers. OK, so they go and rest, and then they come back in their father's line and play out the judgment that they got. Okay? And that's all people. All right? No matter who you are, the righteous or the wicked, and in between. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. Okay? So that right there alone cuts that hell doctrine. All right? That cuts that it's a hell. Because the wicked cease from troubling in the spirit world. Okay? It says there the wicked cease from troubling. And in that same place there, the spirit world, the weary be at rest. Why? Because like in Job 12 and 7, it said, Ecclesiastes 12 and 7, all right, it says, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. You can't get around that. You can't get around that. So I'm going to hit a quick few scriptures, Lord willing, just on the little hell thing, because hell is a condition played out here on the earth. Hell is a condition. Okay? It's also the grave. And also you're going to be in a hellified condition when them nukes hit. All right? That judgment, that second death. All right? Them ICBM missile fire that Zechariah is talking about. Matter of fact, that's some hell for you. You know? That Zechariah 14 and 12. All right, that plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that are fought against Jerusalem. It says their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Man, the plague and the destruction that this place is about to get, and the wicked people, even 2/3 of our people, man, they got it bad. Lord willing, I'm not in that, you know. That's why I'm just trying to get right, crawl back into the good graces and do this work and endure to the end. So I don't have no part of it. I don't want it. All right. So yeah, just a few scriptures on, on that hell. This is Tobit chapter 13, verse 2. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at the top. It says, Tobit 13 and 1. Then Tobit wrote a prayer of rejoicing and said, blessed be the God that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom. For he doth scourge and have mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. So he said he bringeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Right now, the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are in our hell right now. We here. We in hell. All right? But he's going to bring us up again and exalt us. All right? And put us back in our rightful place as rulers, as priests, as judges of all existence. And we're going to rule righteously. Okay? See, but they say, hey, once you go to hell, that's it, eternal. Wait a minute. It says, wait a minute. Well, the Most High have mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Okay? So this hell is talking about a condition. All right? Let's get another. This is, let me hit Jonah. Jonah chapter 2, and I'll start at the top. It says, then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. Jonah was in that fish's belly. You can imagine, how dark, how stinky and nasty it was. He was in a condition of hell. He said, out of the belly of hell, I cried. He wasn't down there with some dude with a trident or pitchfork or whatever, with flames, that burns forever. No, he was in that condition, right? This is Isaiah 14:9. Isaiah chapter 14:9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All right. So it says hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Talking about Esau, Edom. All right. Talking about Esau, Edom, starting off with the banking elite. All right. Right now, they're in their heaven. They run the world. They own the banks. OK, they ain't even own the Forbes magazine. OK, they too rich for the Forbes magazine. OK, because the Forbes magazine people, they just mere billionaires. These banking elites, these Rothschilds, these Rockefellers, these Oppenheimers, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Warburgs, the Waltons, all of them, they are trillionaires, multi-trillionaires, man. Okay, but right here, they're about to have their fall. All right, it says hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. All right, they're on the decline. They're falling, and they know it. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Talking about these other nations. All right, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? It says, verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and thy noise and thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? How art thou fallen from your condition of heaven? Because hell is about to meet thee. You about to be in the condition of hell. It says, how art thou fallen from hell, O Lucifer, thou son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Okay, that Lucifer, it ain't talking about no dude with a trident, No, this Lucifer means light bearer. All right, talking about the banking elite, the Illuminati, if you will. Okay, this Lucifer is talking about men here on the earth, the enlightened ones, those who know that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Bible. They know this. Okay, they have all the records hidden if they not burned. Okay, they know this. All right, see, but they're on the decline. That's why it says, how art thou fallen from heaven? How art thou fallen from your condition of being in power, on top, the riches of the riches, in control, and the big bad wolf? Okay, so that's just showing you, that's a whole nother topic, but I just wanted to hit that point of hell. That's that condition. All right, even heaven is a condition. All right, because right now we in our hell, they in their heaven. We're soon about to be in our heaven, and they're gonna be in their hell. Okay, this is Luke chapter 16. Salaki, which means forgive me. Bear with me a second. Luke chapter 14, and And this is the parable. Luke chapter 16, starting off at 19. This is the parable of, the Lazarus and the rich man. It says, verse 19, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. All right. This is those banking elites starting off, you know what I'm saying, with the banking elite, these Edomites, the so-called white man. All right. Namely, these Amalek, these people, they call themselves Jewish. OK, they are the banking elite. All right. First and foremost, it says there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which laid at his gate full of sores. And Lazarus, this parable represents the Israelites. All right. It says laid at his gate full of sores. A quick precept to that, Isaiah chapter 1 and 5. Matter of fact, I'll start at 2. It says, hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. And that's why we're under punishment. That's why he let us be scattered all over the world in these different captivities. Okay? And this last captivity, we lost who we were, because the wicked, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. This wicked, he lies, okay? And he heapeth to him all nations and say that he's everybody. All right. So he said in Micah, it says they not only oppress a man and his house, they even oppress a man and his heritage and who they really are. Okay. So because they have done that, we have lost who we are. It says verse 3, it says the ox knoweth his owner and the ass his master's crib. It says, but Israel, the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, doth not know. My people doth not consider. We just went that money, car, clothes, and the hoes, trying to be successful. Oh, fatty whopping, ooh, about that bag. Oh, yeah, the bitches and the hoes and the running trains and the smoking and the rapping, the dumb shit. That's what our people is about, man. We've been had, man, real good. But it was for our punishment. Not only for our punishment, for our experience and having to go through all this, okay? For a reason. There's a means to an end, all right? It says, verse 4, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel to anger. They are gone away backward. Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. It says the whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even into the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up nor mollified with ointment. Our people are gone. It called us putrefying sores and wounds. Okay, talking about the Israelites. All right. So back in this parable of Lazarus and the rich man, verse 20, chapter 16, verse 20 of Luke. It says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. Right? That's the Israelites. It says, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. All right. But it says, hey, we desiring to be fed with the crumbs. All right. Reminds me of this. Deuteronomy 28 and I think it's 48. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine. And this is the part of the curses that we're dealing with even to this day. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. We're serving our enemies. They never became our friends. Okay, just because they set up and lied to you, you know, it remind me of Maccabees. This is their MO. This is what they're all about. It says, First Maccabees chapter 1 and 30. It says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. All right. And that was during the time of the Greeks, still so-called white people. Okay. But yeah, it says back in Deuteronomy 28 and 48, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that's what he's done. This is one of the curses that we're dealing with. All right. He said that they should be the lender and they should lend to us. That's around here somewhere too. But I'm just going to go back to this in Luke chapter 16, verse, I'll hit 21 again. It says, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. All right. So they're about to be in their hell. All right. And we're about to be in our heaven. This is Isaiah 33 and 1. Isaiah chapter 33 and 1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Okay? So now everything that we've done got, they're going to get double. We're going to be in our heaven and they're going to be in their hell. Okay? Let me see. That's all I wanted on that. Revelations 20 and 14. It says, Revelations 20 and 14, and death and hell were cast unto the lake of fire. All right. So how is hell going to be cast into hell? How is hell going to be cast into fire? If hell is fire. Okay. We're cast unto the lake of fire. This is the second death. All right. So that lake of fire is the second death. That second death I was talking about a little bit earlier. All right. That second death, that this is what the elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the elect of you Israelites, all right, are not going to have to deal with this second death. And I'm a part of that number that do not have to deal with that second death, that lake of fire, which is here, going to be right here in America. All right. Those ICBM missiles going to be shot over here. And this is going to be a lake of fire where it's going to burn for a long, mighty long time. And this place, America, will never be inhabited again by man. Never. ever, ever. This is going to be forever. That's going to be forever and ever and ever, that no man could dwell here. This is going to be a memorial that this was the most wicked kingdom. Okay? And this is where these, whoever's here that's not a part of the elect is about to get that second death and burn, according to that second, that Zechariah 14. Okay? Or is that 13? Zechariah 13 and 8, I believe. Okay? So, you know, I just wanted to hit a few things on that hell, because having the understanding of reincarnation, that hell doctrine is smashed. Okay? And it's a lot of other topics as well. Okay? That you would have a whole lot better understanding of with the understanding of reincarnation. All right. And it was common knowledge back then of reincarnation. All right. Back in the ancient times. And that's why I got this scripture, because the disciples, they knew of reincarnation. All right. Now, the disciples was learning, you know, certain things and different things. They didn't know everything. And that's why the Lord swooped them up and grabbed them up and was teaching them. OK. And then by the time that he died, and, you know, he gave them the Spirit, the Comforter, to give them the understanding of the scriptures. OK. And then they went and did the work. OK. But they did understand of reincarnation. That's why they asked him this in this account. This is St. John chapter 9 and 1. It says, "And Yahushua passed by and saw a man which was blind from his birth." A man that was blind from his birth. He was born blind. And his disciples asked him, saying, "Master, who did sin that this man or his parents," and his disciples asked him, saying, "Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" So if he was born blind, and then the disciples asked him, "Yahushua, Master, who sinned that he was born blind?" When could he have ever sinned if he was born blind? In his past lifetime. Then when he died in his past lifetime, he went to the spirit world and got a judgment. The judgment to come back born blind. But in this case, it wasn't his fault or his parents' fault, you know. In this case, the Lord just wanted to, he did that to show a miracle, which he answered. You know what I'm saying? In verse 3, he said, Yahushua answered and said, "Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest." All right. So it wasn't that, you know, he had sinned and went and got his judgment of being born blind. You know, this was a special case. All right. This case was that the Lord may do this miracle on him so that people could see that miracle and come to the knowledge of the truth. All right. So, but I brought this out just to say, hey, the disciples asked him, like, hey, you know, man, he was born blind. Wow. Man, did he, you know, was it his sins that he was born blind, or was it his parents' sin? All right. Even though the scriptures let you know that, hey, no, that you know, you're not going to deal with what your father did and then you be born blind because of your father. We already read those scriptures. All right. See, but like I say, even the disciples back then, they were still learning. All right. But one thing that they did know, according to this question that they asked him, they did know of reincarnation. OK, to ask him, all right, well, you know, who sinned that he was born blind? Because the only way that he could have sinned was in his past lifetime. He was born blind. He didn't sin in the womb. All right. When could he ever sin? In his past lifetime. All right, so what is this? So we must understand that, and also this as well. This is Second Esdras, and I'm gonna wrap it up in a second. This is Second Esdras, chapter 7, one of my faves, 2nd Esdras, chapter 7. I'm going to start at 3. It says, and I said, speak on, matter of fact, yeah. I said, speak on, my God. Then said he unto